Hey, greetings. This is Ricardo Diez, and I'm inviting you to attend this course in emulsions for the pharmaceutical industry and for the cosmetic industry. The first thing I'm going to do is to explain to you why we need 2 days instead of 1. Well, the first day is absolutely necessary because we're going to be learning and understanding the raw materials that are required to make emulsions. And there's no shortcuts for that. And that is going to take us a full day, because if we do not understand and learn emulsifiers and emollients, structuring agents, polymers, then the only way to make emulsions is in an empirical way, trial and error. And that is really not the way to go. Now, I don't want you to get scared, because we're going to learn raw materials in a very simple and graphical manner. There you are, you see? That is the way we're going to study. The black section, it tries to be the oil phase of an emulsion. And here we have this big stick that represents one type of emulsifier. This is the other type of emulsifiers. And you see there are actual structures. And now you can visualize them. One looks like a stick, the other looks like a tree, but actually that's the way it goes. So once we know all these details on chemistry and physical chemistry, the next day we're going to start doing emulsions. Because you see, whether you have a pharmaceutical emulsion like this, whose purpose is to control pain, or you have this simple one, which is a hand cream, the reality is that the two of them, even though they have different purposes, the guts inside are exactly the same. I'm going to show that to you. Well, this image is a real one, and what we have here, this black thing happens to be the oil phase, and then we have all these additional structures around the oil phase, which are in most cases crystalline, and they're made of emulsifiers and structuring agents. Now you can see why we need to know the chemistry, because depending how those rings are made, the emulsion is going to behave completely different. I have here a much more modern image, and then you can see the actual size of the emulsions and all those rings around. You can see there is plenty of them. So we're going to go in detail in understanding how these rings are created by the different raw materials and the different properties. And we're going to be using polarized light. As you can see, the intensity of the rings is different. We're going to go also and understand through this instrumental techniques, the temperature at which they melt, or this is X-ray diffractions. We're going to be able to see how they are built. And the reason why all this is important is because emulsions for either the pharmaceutical industry or the cosmetic industry are in two extremes. Either you have one full of crystalline structures, which is what I just told you, or there are very little crystalline structures and they're made with polymers. Actually, this one is made with polymers, stabilized with polymers, and this one is more of the other kind. In reality, we have a blend of the two of them in most products. Now, the reason why these rings and structures are very important, not only because they control sensoriality, stability, but because these little animals that I put over there intend to be actives. So this one here is an oil-soluble active, whether it's pharmaceutical active or cosmetic active, and the other meant to be water-soluble active. So when you apply this emulsion of the skin and you want to deliver the active, what is going to happen is that all those crystalline structures are the ones that are going to give you the original sensoriality. But once the emulsion is applied on the skin and is broken, the question is, how are these actives going to move through the residue left on the skin? Because if you don't release them, the activity of the active may not be there. So this is what this is going to be about. I guarantee you 2 things. You're going to learn plenty, and the second day you're going to have a terrible headache, but it will be worth it. All right, I hope you sign, and I see you soon. Many thanks. Bye-bye.